At the last hour of the market, we detected an unusual trade on International Paper stock worth about $1 million on the last trading day, May 7th, when the stock hit a new high. So in this video, we will analyze this unusual option activity to find out how this wealthy investor is now trading International Paper stock. Are they bullish or bearish, so that we can also trade in the same direction to make money while the rich are getting richer on Wall Street? Because as we all know, the rich have more access to information, sometimes leaked insider information, to make better financial decisions on Wall Street. Now, why did International Paper stock rally? Well, there was some news about a company making an acquisition offer at $42 per share. And you can see that the stock rallied to $41.30, started to sell back down, taking profits, and ended up at $38. Okay? So, did anybody know about this merger and acquisition priorhand? We think so, because we were actually in the trade earlier on April 18, which was actually on this day here, okay? This day on April 18, we detected unusual option activity, okay? This was the options that we had traded April 18. You can see this was when International Paper stock was trading at $35. And for the May 17 options at the 37.5 strike calls, there were 5,000 contracts being traded on April 18. Clearly opening trades, since the open interest is just 600. And they were only going for about $50 for each of these call options. So we got into a few of these contracts, and you can see how much they are worth now. 37.5 strike calls. You can see we can sell this back to the market from somewhere between $135 to $330. So more than doubling our initial costs. So profits exceedingly high. And you can see that they could be trading this, selling this right now. Half of these trades, 2,300, are being traded again on the last trading day. All right, so we started to take profits closing out of this trade, and we got into a new trade now, which was based on the unusual option activity on May 7th. Okay, so what did we do? Well, let's take a look at the new data. And we can see here on the option time and sales tape at the last hour on May 7th, 3:22 p.m., there were these 4,000 contracts for the October 18 options, 42.5 strike calls, and the 50 strike calls. Also, 3,000 over here, 3:56 p.m. with just 4 minutes left in the market. Same options. Okay, so there's a total here of 7,000 contracts. Okay, and so when we estimate this trade cost, okay, you can see they paid $165 and they sold for $25. This is a call spread. So 165 subtracted by 25, each trade costs $140. Since they did 7,000 contracts or trades, this was $980,000. Okay, close to $1 million. Now, because it did not meet our threshold of $1 million, it is still considered a low chance of profit trade in comparison to the trades that we share on our website, especially also because the news has already broken out about this merger and acquisition. All right. So if you are interested in the higher chance of profit trades, then make sure to go to our website. We'll put a link at the top here where those trades exceed $1 million, and also other variables that increase the chance of profit based on the data. All right. For this trade, because this is not a high chance of profit in comparison to the ones that we share on the website, we closed our previous trade to take profits and opened a new trade. So we simply followed the trade direction with another unusual option at the 45 strike calls. Now we can see that all of these options were opening trades. You can see here on May 7th, these 42.5 strike calls, 8,000 greater than the open interest, the 45 strike calls, 8,000 greater than the open interest, and also the 50 strike calls, 10,000 greater than the open interest as well. Okay, so all of this trading here, what did we do? We bought the 45 strike calls and we sold the 50 strike calls. And so when we analyze this trade, you can see that this is a vertical call spread. It is bullish, going long with a positive delta. Okay, and you can see that the x-axis here, which represents the share price of International Paper Company, as it moves up in price from $38, if it goes up, it becomes very profitable. If it goes down, it is a loss. But our loss is capped at $50 per trade. Okay, and that is how much we paid for it. That's the debit on this trade. And we could potentially make this much. Okay, and what is that? You can see the profit over here on this box. The blue line, $450. Okay, so we are able to make $450 on this trade and only risking 50. You can see if it drops, that's a minus loss of 50. Okay, so this risk to reward ratio is much in our favor. $450 of profit divided by the cost of 50 times 100 for a percentage, that is 900%. So the risk reward very much in our favor, where we can make up to 900% in comparison to a loss of 100%, right? So that is why we are in this trade and just using position sizing, because it is higher risk, okay, because it has to rally considerably high. Now it does not have to rally actually to $42. Notice that the acquisition offer was at $42, right? But we bought the 45 strike calls. Now that's out of that $42 range. Well, you can see that it actually has to cross $45 at expiration, the blue line, in October. But if it rallies sooner, you can see the profit on the purple line at $64 of profit. That's more than 100% since we spent 50, right? So we could make 100% on this trade already in a few days if we can rally up to this $42 target price for this acquisition. Okay, so keep that in mind, that even though these strike prices are out of that price range, that there's a purple line which represents the current date, right? The date that is trading at, and not the expiration date of these options. Okay, so let us know what you think about this trade and these unusual option activity happening on International Paper Stock. Do you think there were some insiders trading on leaked information? Check out our website if you want better trade ideas, where we share the trades of wealthy investors who sometimes are trading on inside information. Please smash the like button and subscribe if you haven't, and take care and have a great day.